With many potential WWE returns and more, this is Wrestling Up. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. When asked about Vince McMahon's hush money scandal that led to him being ousted as chairman and CEO of WWE, Ken Shamrock told Vlad TV, "Anytime that you have that much power, I think you're going to see things like that happen and people take advantage of their power. It hasn't been a secret. I mean, there's always been allegations, and I don't think anybody really truly believes they weren't true. I think they just believe that they, like we know now, they were just paid off for, hush money. So this is no shock. I mean, like, we live in this world and it happens all the time." On his To Be the Man podcast, Ric Flair touched on Braun Strowman's return and made this claim. "You look around at projects and you realize that you're still a young kid and you need to make money. You've got a family. I can guarantee that Hunter's checkbook isn't as big as it was. It's just the way the world works. Guys are coming back looking for work, like Carl Anderson, and I'm sure they didn't get big raises." Revealing the moment Triple H earned his respect, Chris Jericho mentioned on his podcast, "The finish of the match was going to be that a bunch of different things happen. I end up hitting Austin with the Lion Salt. Triple H comes in with a sledgehammer. I move. He hits Austin with the sledgehammer. I take Triple H out. Benoit does a diving headbutt. 1, 2, 3, we win. And this was going to be our coronation to the next level. But then Triple H tore his quad moments before going into the end of the match. Suddenly he's gone. And when that happens, something's not right here. Because these are four pros amongst pros. You don't forget spots or you don't do stuff. I went onto the floor and he's just laying there, not even screaming. He's there saying, I think I tore my quad." And I was like, what? I'm not Triple H's biggest fan, but this guy earned my eternal respect by just how tough he was to go through that. Speaking to Steve Fall of 10 Count, Ultimo Dragon revealed this about his short-lived run in WWE. WWE wanted to change his image and look and remove who he was and remove who he was, so he requested to leave because he wanted to maintain who he was. He stayed. There were no bad terms, but he wanted to be who he was and did not want to change who he was. Yes, they wanted to take his mask off. He wasn't against the idea, but they had a lot of ideas for him to remove his mask. They just figured it would be something that would be better for them and him. He was open to it, but there wasn't something really there for it. What they said was, being that Rey Mysterio was so popular, they didn't see a need to have two masked wrestlers, so they wanted to keep Mysterio as the only mask and then remove him from being masked. And he says he understands. He said he understands that as a promoter. He understands why, and I agree with them, but it wasn't what I wanted to do. In the end, it's their company and they have their own decisions as to how they want to make it work. I will follow suit. I'm their employee. They're my employer, so I'll do what they need me to do, and that's how every wrestler should be. Listen to what the boss wants and do it. Obviously, if it doesn't work for you, then you can discuss, but in the end, without the boss, then there's no work and there's no wrestlers." When it comes to a possible WWE comeback, Ringside News has reported that Matt Cardona's name has come up a lot regarding a WWE return. We are told that Cardona is on WWE's radar for a return because he's talented, but Triple H has a lot of people on his radar right now. Talking about a potential return to WWE, Matt Cardona told Sam Roberts, "I would have a conversation. I'm not saying we haven't already. Who's to say, who's to say? I think Zack Ryder is dead. Would it be cool? A woo-woo? Would that get a bigger pop maybe for one night as opposed to Always Ready? Maybe, because that's more familiar with the WWE universe and audience. But if I were to go back, I think it has to be as Matt Cardona. If I say Razor Ramon came back as Scott Hall." It would also be reported by Steve Carrier that we've heard a few rumor names that are set for WWE returns, but we can 100% confirm that Chelsea Green is on her way back to WWE. Of course, Green recently finished up her run with Impact Wrestling, so her return could be taking place very soon. Talking about his contract status and a potential return, Jonah, known as Bronson Reed in WWE, told Wrestling Observer Live, "Yeah, so I have an agreement with New Japan, but also it is non-exclusive, so that's what's enabled me to open up the door to Impact Wrestling as well, and I'm gonna hopefully be doing more stuff with them. I made quite, pun intended, the impact when I attacked Josh Alexander, and I want to continue to do that wherever I go, And I think what you were saying, it was a very big head scratcher when I was let go from WWE. I too, the way I feel, I had not even peaked in my WWE career. Nowhere near it. So now, I'm going to peak and put on these performances that people are going to remember elsewhere." Ringside News would add that we've heard a few names floating around when discussing former WWE superstars the company might bring back. We were explicitly told by a tenured member of the creative team that they would bet Bronson Reed returns too. With him having been out of action from WWE for months due to a back injury, Randy Orton was seen in a hospital bed, as his wife wrote on Instagram. "7 wonderful years with the man of my dreams. You're batch crazy, but so am I. I trust you and you trust me. We could conquer the world together if we feel like it, but for now, I just want you to be my daddy and me to be your mama and raise our beautiful children together as one big happy family. Family, love, loyalty. We have that tattooed on our bodies because it's the most important things to us. Me, you, our family, and close friends. That's all that matters. Thank you for loving me the way you do, Randy. Happy anniversary, my love." By the way, if y'all only knew why this pic was taken, PW Insider added, WWE star Randy Orton, who has not performed for the company since a May episode of Monday Night Raw, was spotted yesterday in Birmingham, Alabama. With him apparently having already pitched facing the C Nation leader at WrestleMania, Logan Paul said this on his podcast about going one-on-one with John Cena. "That's my dream. I've proven the model twice now. I've proven the model of headstrong, capable internet kid versus a GOAT, a top-tier industry leader. Floyd. That worked. Generated $65 to $70 million. Reigns. Crown Jewel became the #1 most viewed international pay-per-view event WWE has ever had. I've done it twice. The reason is, when I'm paired with a legend, a top-tier industry leader, the model works. After Crown Jewel, John Cena posted me on his Instagram, and then I saw an article saying he's looking for an opponent at WrestleMania. I favorited it, responded with the eyes. Truthfully, I think me versus John Cena would break the internet. I texted Triple H right away. Do you want me to break the internet again? That's a dream match. WrestleMania in LA on my birthday. Triple H, throw me a bone. Give me a birthday present. Let me take out John Cena. That'd be crazy. That's the model I'm going to pitch to WWE. This week, we're meeting with them. I'm going to be like, hey, this works for me. Put me up against the best y'all have. I'm going to deliver. You know that for a fact. Not only put on an amazing match, but I'm going to put asses in seats and eyeballs on the television. Since I'm an outsider, they have to treat my career in WWE a little differently than they have with the rest of the roster. The only caveat to this is I could see how other wrestlers and fans would throw their arms in the air. Why is he getting a shot at Cena or Randy Orton? The answer is, I'm going to make money. Speaking of potential matches for WrestleMania, Ric Flair suggested this for Steve Austin on his podcast. If Austin wrestles CM Punk, he needs to beat him in 30 seconds. 30 seconds? Stone Cold and CM Punk? Come on, give me a break. Can't even mention their names in the same breath, please. Talking on Insight with Chris Van Vliet about being signed to AEW, Saraya said this about the company's refusal to take a cut from her outside projects. I want to be able to branch out and do other things, and so with AEW and Tony, they were just like, you can go do whatever you want as long as you come to work. We'll be happy. And then if I have to do any TV stuff, of course, I would ask them or tell them what I'm going to do and what the ins and outs of it is, but they're always going to be like, you can do whatever you want, and we don't want a percentage of it either, which I thought was like a big deal. I was like, you don't want to take something away from me and you don't want to take my Twitch away? Fantastic, because that was such a big deal in WWE, not with Triple H, because Hunter let NXT people keep their Twitch. It was the main roster that kind of got taken away, and then Thea lost her job over it at one point, and then she got rehired again. Yeah, and so I just didn't want that to happen again, where opportunities got taken away from me, or I wasn't allowed to do something one week or the other, which I do trust Hunter with, but you just never know. I don't know who this other boss is now. Nick, right, I'm not familiar with him. So that kind of like made me a little bit skeptical to it. That's the only thing, because with Hunter, if it was just Hunter, I'd be like, you know, like I trust you, but Tony just like made it so easy for me, and he was just like, we'll do it as much as you want to do it within AEW. You get to make the rules on what you can and can't do, and I'm just like, I love that. Like, to be in my getting to be Saraya and having control of my life, I'm like, I haven't had that feeling for a long time. With her being the victim of a leak years ago, Saraya addressed the situation during that same interview, saying this about first calling her father. I remember calling him, and I was absolutely just sad and saying, I'm so sorry, you know, I was completely heartbroken. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And he straight away was like, I don't care. And I was just like, what? He was like, I don't care. He was like, look at Kim Kardashian. Although publicly people would recognize me and say the meanest like Twitter was real for a second, which is not usually real. Like, people would hurling at me. I remember one time I was sitting at a bar with my friends and someone asked like for a picture or something like that, and I was like, yeah, can we get it afterwards? I'm just gonna eat my food, and then totally we can have it right now so we know eating. And he was just like, I already want it because you're a porn star. It was the first time hearing it in public, like someone saying that to me, and usually it's just on social media, and I have control of that because I could just delete it off my phone, right? But having that in person, I like ran to the bathroom and I started sobbing. I was like crying my eyes out. I was just like, I can't believe someone said that to me, and I'm not a porn star. Like, this is not who I am. Like, this is not what I wanted. Like, this is, you know, someone like I'm a victim in this. Like, people don't realize that I'm the victim in this. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.